On this Veterans Day, we're taking you to the only Medal of Honor memorial in the country dedicated to veterans.
Yeah, it's located at the Riverside National Cemetery, and that's where we find NBC4's Kristen Cazares with a closer look at what each detail represents and the last-minute changes many families noticed here today. Christian.
That's right, guys. This memorial is really a unique one. It's right here in our very own backyard. The Medal of Honor Memorial right here behind me. Inside, there are 3,500 members of the armed forces that earned the Medal of Honor. Each one of those names engraved here. Now, we recently spoke to one of the people responsible for making this memorial a reality. But before that, I want to show you outside around the cemetery here, a completely different scene today as thousands of U.S. flags were missing.
The Army Medal of Honor is about this big. So we had them blown up to about 8 feet in diameter.
Inside the Riverside National Cemetery, you'll find the only memorial dedicated to the veterans that have earned a Medal of Honor.
Everything you even wanted to know about the Medal of Honor, its history.
Mike Goldware is a volunteer at the site, but says he came up with the idea for the memorial, which took years of planning and dedicated in 1999. While he admits Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia is better known, this cemetery is the largest and busiest.
Riverside National Cemetery accepted its first interment on November 11, 1978. Staff Sergeant Ismael Villegas, United States Army, posthumous recipient of the Medal of Honor, born and raised in Casablanca section of Riverside.
Every feature of the memorial, Goldware says, was carefully thought out to reflect the powerful stories behind each name.
The black granite is to remind everybody about the complete and utter abyss of war. But within the black granite, you can see millions of gold flecks, pointing out the millions of individual acts of heroism. But the ones that stand out are the ones that are inscribed with, if you will, with gold paint. Medal of Honor recipients.
The color red, he says, is a reminder of the cost of freedom and liberty that is almost always in blood.
Thank you guys for
Today, families like Raymond Sanchez came to honor his loved ones and that ultimate sacrifice that was made. Only this year, the U.S. flag, normally on display, was missing.
It sort of bums me out.
290,000 American flags have been placed next to each tombstone for the last 13 years by the nonprofit Honoring Our Fallen. But this year, because of the government shutdown, they say the event was canceled.
When you have a volunteer organization and you're inviting people to come out and volunteer, you have a legal right. And you also have a humane right to provide them with the resources that they need.
But over the weekend, families from across the Inland Empire showed up to help after hearing about the canceled event, placing more than 2,000 U.S. flags across the cemetery.
And back out here live, even in the dark, you can only see just a small portion of the cemetery with U.S. flags. Many families telling us they're just focused on the meaning of Veterans Day and honoring those who are still with us. And of course, thanking them for their service while never forgetting those that gave their life for our country. That's the very latest from Riverside. Christian Cazares, NBC4 News.